G'day guys, Cam Wild Touring. Hey, last week, Chloe and I put out an episode where I got bogged on the edges of the dam and I spent about an hour digging myself out. Anyway, I got heaps of messages, comments, DMs and all the rest of it from people saying, Cam, why didn't you use the crawl control system on your car? And the honest answer to that question is, I didn't think about it because I've never had it before and I don't know how it works. So I've done a little bit of reading online, reading the car manual, and I think I've got my head around how it works and how to use it. But I want to sort of put that into practice today. So I've come onto the beach. I want to get myself bogged, which is an unusual thing to say, and I want to give this crawl control system a go. So let's go for a drive. We'll get bogged and we'll go from there. That was so much harder than expected to get bogged. There we go. Right, we're bellied out. That took some doing, but we're bogged. 24 pound, center diff lock off, and we managed to get bogged. It's not particularly a bad bog, but we are facing slightly uphill. So I'll see if that crawl control will work going up this hill. We're kind of bellied out a little bit, probably on that rear trailing arm. And yeah, we're a little bit bellied out on the chassis rail there. So it's an average bog, it's not a particularly bad one as far as bogs go. Alrighty, so crawl control. Toyota say that it automatically modulates the braking system to maintain a steady pace. It applies individual brakes to each wheel as needed, preventing wheel lockup and ensuring optimal traction. So yeah, feathers the brakes on and off each wheel individually, and it also maintains throttle control. So it'll actually, you take your feet off everything and it should drive for you. So let's start the car. Foot on the brake. Start into neutral, center diff lock on, make sure that comes up there, center diff lock's on. We go into low range, so keeping the transmission in neutral, push down to low range. That's going to turn off all the traction controls and stuff, and it's going to show me that we're in low range right there on the dash. Now we put it into drive and we press DAC crawl control. Now my foot's still on the brake. See how there's like some bars up here? That's how you can set the speed. So if I twist this, you'll see I can change the speed. Now from what I read, for sand, higher speeds are better. So let's just start with a mid and see how we go. So feet off everything. And I've got the steering wheel. Let's see what it does. It's making a bit of noise. Bit of juddering going on. Definitely moving. There's a bit of sort of juttering going on like that. I guess as it's pushing power to each wheel and locking those brakes on and off. We're inching forwards. Tyres are at like 23 pounds still. Obviously if I'd aired down, cleared some sand by hand, I probably could have just driven out of this, but I just really wanted to see how this crawl control system works. We're pushing slightly uphill, so it's working a little bit harder than it probably needs to or wants to. See how long this takes. Might turn that speed up a smidge. We're getting there. This is the most unusual thing, letting the car just drive for you. Just gonna turn the steering wheel a little bit so it's not working so hard uphill and see if that gets us going a little bit quicker. Oh, we're getting out of this for sure. Here we go. Oh yeah. Just gonna turn slightly downhill just to help it out. But we're definitely out of that bog. Yeah, we're out. All right, well, it absolutely works. That's crawl control. Now, as soon as you put the car into back into park, it's gonna deactivate crawl control. That worked really well. I'm impressed with that. I don't think it's a magic solution for getting out of a bog situation, but I think it's a really good tool, you know, for your self-recovery arsenal if you ever do get stuck. Like I said, in a situation like that, if I'd simply just backed up, dropped some tire pressure and backed up sort of down that hill rather than trying to push up it, I'm sure it could have self-recovered anyway. But with a shovel, max tracks, tire pressures, and that crawl control system, you've definitely got a lot of options to self-recover before you need snatching out or a winch. So there you go. It's cool to learn how that works. I'll definitely try that in future. Really keen to see how that works in like a real situation where I'm bogged. But I think the key with that system is that when you do start to get bogged, you've got to stop, and then you've got to start to employ some of those tools you've got, like letting down your tires, clearing some sand, trying crawl control, etc. If you were to sit there and to just keep driving while you're bogged, you're going to end up just sitting on your chassis rails, sitting on your diffs. All four wheels are going to be clear of the ground because they've dug everything out, and then none of those, the crawl control is not going to work for you. Letting tires isn't going to work for you. You're stuck in a situation where you're going to have to dig out all of the sand from underneath your car or get snatched or winched. So anyway, interesting, pretty cool system. Anyway, let's shoot down the beach. Let's find a good spot, and I'm going to go for a flick and see if I can get something to eat for breakfast.
I know I'm lucky, man, but I don't feel lucky, man.